According to residents and business owners, Hurricane Beryl's unpredictable path left a trail of destruction along the Soufriere Waterfront. The storm surge caused significant damage, overwhelming the Soufriere Marine Management Association's office and destroying both jetties.
This hurricane was so unpredictable. From the time it started off the coast of Africa, the reporting and the forecasting kept changing, and then one never anticipated it would have ended that way. In Soufriere, whereas for the entire day there wasn't much rain, much wind, but we knew the wind speed. One of the things we failed to do, I think many people did that, was to associate the wind speed with surges and rough seas and so on. And that took everybody by storm. What happened in Soufriere is the worst I've ever seen. To me, it's worse than Lenny. And the destruction is there for you to see. The SMMA office is completely overwhelmed with dirt and seawater. You can see this building over there, the police station. But we are St. Lucians. We have gone through it before, we have recovered, and I'm optimistic that we are going to recover and come out even better. It's an opportunity to do some of the things that were done wrong and some of the things that needed to be upgraded. Like our jetties, both of them collapsed. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to rebuild.
Despite the devastation, residents are determined to rebuild.
Well, I don't think anybody really can prepare himself for a storm, especially when you are of the impression that things are not going to be as bad as one would have expected. And so the truth of the matter is we didn't expect it to have come with such veracity.
And I know your place was also damaged as well?
Well, very much so. If you pan around, you'll see that we've lost our entire office. We've lost about 4 shops on the front. We've lost the entire frontage where we were trying to have a recreational facility for people to just come and cool out on the waterfront. And it is what it is. We are now starting the process of cleaning up, and we're going to rebuild from there.
Residents expressed shock at the ferocity of the storm despite warnings of a Category 4 hurricane. Local fishermen also suffered heavy losses, with many boats damaged or destroyed.
Boy, when I see those waves, I mean, the fishermen, they did what they had to do and they pull up the boats. But after when the storms start, they had to pull it all the way up. Some boats mash up, end up in the cemetery, and my God, look at the jetty. It's a disaster. In Viewfort, I saw the waves on top of the last breaker in the fishing pond. I mean, people 60, 70 years old, that's the first time they have seen that. You know, so it's really bad. But the good thing is no loss of lives. So praise the Lord.
The fishing industry is a vital part of Soufriere's economy, and the destruction of boats leaves many wondering how they will recover. Some fishers are calling for government assistance.
For the first time, I've been living in Soufriere for 30-something years. And I suggest that the first time I ever see that kind of hurricane. And it damaged, I didn't expect for it that kind of way, but that's the way it come. And everything get break down, everything get mashed up, which means we didn't expect for that, but it's already been done. So it's nothing we could do about that. And the boat, it's what I do in a living offer. And right now it's done, it mashed up, everything disappeared, and there's no way I could do nothing about it. So I don't know if I could get help, whoever the priority could help, try and stretch a little hand, let me see if I could get back on my feet.
The fisheries pond in neighboring Choiseul was also ravaged, impacting the seafarers there. A community cleanup effort is underway in the coastal settlements. Despite the devastation, Soufriere residents are expressing a sense of community and hope for the future.
First of all, I must thank God for giving us the strength to be here today and to cover us with His wings. Otherwise, Soufriere would have been a total mess as based on what we've seen this morning. Where we are now, we are in the cemetery. The cemetery wall was damaged in 2 sections, one facing north, one facing south. Behind you was the wall, and there was some wooden structure where the guys used to do the mechanical repair for the boats. So all this went down, and then the sand, everything is already in halfway of the cemetery, not the full cemetery, but halfway. So we are saying that if God didn't spare us, what would have happened? Because this entire cemetery would be covered with sand. But we see we have debris, we have boats and everything. Lots of damage has been done to the cemetery. So there's a lot of work to be done. I'm calling for people to lend a hand when the call is given to come and do some cleanup and so on. So as citizens, we need to put everything aside and come and help to see how well we can restore our community to back it was before.
Businesses that rely on tourism, such as dive shops, were also impacted.
Well, let's just say that my dive operation is at a standstill at this point because lost equipment, tanks, VCs, regulators, masts, fins, and our dive compressor got a lot of salt water, so we have no idea whether it's working or not. And the property, as you can see, is quite damaged at this point.
Was this something that you expected?
Well, we expected the waves to be high, and we had a plywood, we had boarded out the front, there was a double door and a burglar bar, but that was nothing compared to what the waves did to us. We never expected it to be that high, but we took all precautions, but no matter what you took, it would have been dangerous.
The road to recovery for the Soufriere Waterfront will be long, but the community remains resolute.
Lots of destruction at the waterfront, the beach park, the cemetery, and a lot of the boats. In all fairness to the fishers, on Saturday they took time out to pull the boats out of the water. They stored quite a few of the boats on the fisheries complex, but what we've seen yesterday around 2, the sea actually came in and decided to do something else and pick up the boats and place a lot of them within the cemetery.
What measures will be taken to at least ameliorate the situation?
Well, as you see now, we are trying to do the cleanup already, and that's the first thing we have to do. We have assessments in terms of, we need technical people to do the assessments with us, but try to clean up and try to get volunteers, persons to clean up, do what we have to do. Life goes on.
You know, Beryl was a destructive hurricane. Was it something that you expected, the destruction in Soufriere?
Well, they told us very early that it's a very heavy hurricane season. They told us it was a category 4. We need to say thank God at least we didn't get the brunt of it, and there were no lives lost.
Officials say Hurricane Beryl serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the importance of preparedness. Joaquin Duplessis, HTS News Force.